Summer-ween has officially kicked off. Let me show you what I'm reading for Summer-ween and possibly give you some recommendations. Let's get into it. Yeah, today is the first day of Summer-ween. And Summer-ween this year is going to be 8 days. Gabby said 8 days. So from Saturday today, July 5th, all the way till Saturday, I believe July 12th. 8 days for you to complete all 5 prompts. There are also some pictures you can take over on Summer-ween of like your setup and things like that. For me, I try to choose the most minimal amount of books. That way I know I can complete the 5 prompts with the least amount of books. That's always my goal for Summer-ween. But I enjoy participating. So let me show you the books that I chose for Summer-ween. And then later on in the day when I have some time to settle down, I'll show you what prompts they are good for. So first up is Man, Fuck This House by Brian Asman. And it says, so Sabrina Haskins and her family have just moved into their dream home, a gorgeous craftsman in the rapidly growing southwestern city of Jackson Hill. Sabrina's a bored and disillusioned homemaker, Hal a reverse mortgage salesman with a penchant for ill-timed sports analogies. Their 2 children, Damien and Michaela, are bright and precocious. At first glance, the house is perfect, but things aren't what they seem. Sabrina's hearing odd noises, seeing strange visions. Their neighbors are odd or absent, and Sabrina's already fraught relationship with her son is about to be tested in a way no parent could ever imagine, because while the Haskins family might be the newest owners of 4596 James Circle, they're far from its only residents. That is scary as fuck. Just imagine. I can't imagine it, but I'm a homeowner, so I could just imagine moving into my home and hearing things as if people live there. And mind you, all homes come with sounds and build sounds over the years as well. So that's creepy. As for Death Note, the Black Edition, the 4th volume, for Winter-ween, I read volume 3. So it's only right that we bring in volume 4 for this. And when I went to Florida, I actually bought this specifically with this readathon in mind because I didn't own it. So yeah, if you haven't been, if you don't know anything about it, it's just about a very smart and intelligent boy comes across a Death Note book and a Shinigami and starts to use it to rid the world of bad people, but also to rid the world of people that are onto him. It's not exactly, it's characterized as horror, and I can see why, but it's not really scary or spooky, at least not up to the point where I am. But it is horrific that what people will do with certain types of power. So yeah, we're gonna continue reading this. And last but not least is The Spite House by Johnny Compton. Now this one, I do know for a fact this book is about a man with his 2 children. I believe he's running from the law and takes a job at a spooky house to get some reprieve and to make some money. I don't really know what happens after that, but we'll see. And I have this, I'm definitely going to be reading this one with the audiobook. And this one will be by as well as this one. So that is my very, very small TBR for Gabby's Summer-ween. It's always small. It's always small. I try to give myself the least amount of books to read. So yeah, I also have to clean my office. I also have some work to be done before my next class starts. So I have a class that I'm currently in now. It ends on Monday. And then my next class starts on Tuesday. So I have no work for the next class, but I do have work that needs to be turned in for the class that I'm currently in. So I have that. I have to clean up my office, read these books, and I have a lot of laundry to do because I've been letting it pile and pile and pile and pile. So I have a lot of laundry to do. So let's get into the video. Hey you all, I'm checking in right now just to let you know about the Summer-ween prompts. So the first one is to read a book in the dark or at night. The second one is to read a horror or thriller book, and that's where this comes to play, and even this comes to play. The next one is to read a book with a sky on the cover. This one. And the night sky on this one is ridiculous, and I'm going to give you an update on this book in a second. Also, read a book you've owned for more than a year is this one. I've had this on my shelf for over a year and I know that because I bought this at Barnes & Noble, and I haven't been to Barnes & Noble. This year I have been twice, once here in where I live at, and then once in Florida, but that's it. So this had to be bought last year or the year prior to that at Barnes & Noble because I don't really frequent Barnes & Noble that often. So it's time to read this. And it's not just time to read it because it's been on my shelf for so long, but putting off books that I think I might like or might loathe is counterproductive, because if I might like it, that's great for me to read it now. And if I'm going to dislike it, it shouldn't have a place on my shelves. So I have to read it in order to know that. So I'm glad I'm going to read this. And last but not least is to read a novella, a manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. And for that, get it right, is Death Note Volume 4 as a manga. So that's how I'm going, like, those are the prompts and the books I'm going to use to fill all of those prompts. The only one that doesn't have a designated prompt would be to read a book in the dark or at night. Any of those three can go for that. But yeah, it's a 3-book TBR for me. But you all, I have not been feeling good all day. I've been in the bed. I'm in my bedroom. You guys have never really been in my bedroom. I'm in my bedroom. I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling up to being awake. But I have been reading The Spy House. I've gotten 25%, a quarter of the way through. And let me give you a bigger gist of what this book is about. So we have a father who is on the run with 2 of his kids. One is 18, and the other one, I want to say she can't be no more than 9. Yeah, she can't be no more than 9. And they're running away from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, one of them, or a place, something like that. And they're in Texas right now. The father, Eric, is doing odd jobs to keep them afloat, things that he can do off the books pretty much. And his older daughter, Dessa, is doing what she calls illegal things that her father doesn't know of to also make money because they need it while they're on the run. Like going to buy drugs or drinks for the teenagers that's around that want that kind of thing, and they pay her well for that. Also, in Texas, there is some land in a house that Eric wants to buy back from the current owners because it, according to him, it's been in his family. Like, it's the home that his grandparents built, and he thinks that it should have never left the family. And because of that, he wants to buy it back, the house and the land. But before they can do that, they have to make enough money and all of that stuff. But he comes across a advertisement in a paper about Spy House. I've done a little research, and spy houses are actually a thing. They are houses that are built to anger people, to irritate people, and to get a point across for some grief or grievance that you are facing. It's hilarious and very petty. Spite house is a house that is literally built out of spite. And it's not the only one in America. It seems like there's multiple in America, but also all across the world. Like a house that's built out of spite. It pisses people off that you built it. It causes animosity, whatever it is. And the woman who once she's rich, the woman who owns this house, the spy house, in Texas, wants someone to document that there is actual phenomenon going on at this house, and she hasn't been able to find anyone to stay. People have come and people go before they have the evidence that she's looking for. And she's not looking for someone to move into this house and act like they've seen things or doctor up any evidence. She has seen some things herself, and she knows, according to her, what it sounds like when you're telling a real story of you seeing phenomenon. So when Eric comes along and he tells her a story that he's had since he was a kid about something that has happened, that he has seen, and a story he's never told anyone else before in his life, she asks him a pertinent question after he tells the story, and he answers it in a way that she wasn't expecting, because she was expecting him to lie. And he gives her an answer and she's blown away, because she's like, yeah, that means that you actually saw what you think you saw. And now he's just taking a walkthrough of this home. And as he's taking a walkthrough of the home, the woman who's giving him a walkthrough is not the woman that owns the home. It's someone that works with her. And through the corners of her, like in her periphery, she's seeing spectral things, and she's seeing ghosts or whatever you want to say. She's seeing it in that moment and pretending that she doesn't, so that it doesn't spook off Eric while she's just showing him the house. This is their first day there. If that's already happening, then I feel like it's going to get more spooky, and I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying the book. I do want to know what the hell they're running from, like what actually happened. We haven't gotten any answers to that. But yeah, that's me being a quarter of the way through with this book, and I am enjoying it. But I am going to lay down, because I could finish this book today. It's like 255 pages. It's not that long, but my head is foggy. My chest kind of hurts. My stomach kind of hurts. It might be that time of the month coming. I don't know what's going on. And I have no energy. Even though I took energy gummies, I have no energy. So that's out of the cards. But I do have a lot of books on my bed right now. The 3 that I'm going to read for Summer-ween. But I'm also rereading Zenny by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This is not obviously for any video. I'm just rereading for comfort. I've read this before. I'm rereading this for comfort. And no one can ever say they're reading these books for comfort, because these books are not comforting. But I am reading Chloe Washer's Taming 7 with my little baby Gypsy. And yeah, I'm taking it really slow, because these books are heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and I'm not in the mood to be emotional nor cry. So that is also something that I'm not going to do right now. But I am going to lay down. I barely have water. So I'm going to get me some water and then possibly take a nap. Honestly, it's too late for a nap. No, I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to take a nap. And when I wake up, I will continue reading The Spy House, because I am enjoying it and everything like that. So
everyone always said I'd end up this way. But my last name is cursed, and I'd be dead or a killer before graduation. And in a way, I guess they were right.
Hello, how are you? It is a little past 12 p.m. Today is the second day of Summer-ween. And first, let me tell you about Prom Queen. I watched Prom Queen last night. It was never on my want to read. It popped up when I opened up Netflix. So I said, okay, I was looking for horror. You gave me horror. Press play. I didn't like it. It was cheesy. The other three movies in the Fear Street saga, I enjoyed. It was entertaining. Do y'all hear the dog crying? He just had a bath and was lathered in some cream for his itchy skin, and now he's crying like a banshee. Yeah, so I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It wasn't. It reminded me. I think there was a movie that came out in the 80s or the 90s. I want to say even 70s. One of those movies that today you watch and you like, what the is this? It reminded me of like Prom Queen. I think it was Prom Queen from back in the day. Fear Street books by R.L. Stine. That's who writes them, right? The Fear Street books by R.L. Stine were some of the books that I read when I was younger, when I was a little children. So, and I appreciated them then because I am a horror, like I love horror. I'm now getting into adult horror books, but then give me a Goosebumps, give me a Fear Street. Was there anything else? I think that was it. Fear Street and Goosebumps, and I was all in. I was reading them out of order, in order, whatever my school library and my local library could give me. I was all in. But this movie, this Prom Queen movie, was bad. I am about 40% into the Spy House, and shit's getting crazy in the house. Shit's getting crazy in the house. Already at 40%. You have the reporter came by, or the journalist came by to like say, hey, I want to ask you some questions, and I want to give you some context on why they want you to investigate this house, and you have children, and I think you should be careful. And he's kind of wary. Eric, our main character, he's kind of wary because he's like, she's hiding something. The woman who wants us to stay in Spite House is hiding something, but I'm also hiding something. And because I can't divulge what I'm hiding, I can't press them to divulge what they're hiding. So it is what it is. But all three of them, Eric and his two daughters, Dessa and Stacy, have all seen the paranormal. However, in this house. However, there's something I don't want to give too much away, but I am enjoying this book. I am. So there's that. But for the rest of the day, I'm going to be dibbling and dabbling into reading and coursework, and cleaning my office. Because if I showed you this office, it's a hot mess. Okay, because there's books everywhere. I decided to redo my shelves. However, I technically have a library because I have over 1,000 plus books. It's a mess. But yeah, so that's my check-in for right now. I also want to put up the bingo card right here because I watched the horror movie. I haven't watched a regular movie without going to the movie theaters like at home in forever. But I watched the movie and I'm proud of that for myself. Other than that, yeah, I'm gonna get into some coursework and reading simultaneously, back and forth, going back and forth. Yeah, and I have some emails to send and things like that. So I'll see you when I get a little further into the book, when I have, or I'll come back with my ending thoughts on Spite House when we can begin our next book. That's what I'll do. I'll keep that in mind. That's what I'll do. Okay, so before I get into the Spite House conclusion for me, let me show you some books that I could have chosen and some recommendations for a book with a sky on the cover. First, we have The Lake by Natasha Preston. I enjoy, this is YA thriller. I enjoy Natasha Preston books up until the end always because I feel like she doesn't know how to do endings, but I'm drawn to continue to keep reading them for some reason. You have one of Alice Finney's newest books, Beautiful Ugly, Sky on the cover. I don't know what this one is about. I have not read this one. Next, you have Stephen King's The Outsider, and there is a sky on the cover. If you turn the book upside down, sky on the cover. I have read this one and it was enjoyable enough. Next, we have Peter Swanson's The Kind Worth Killing and Peter Swanson's The Kind Worth Saving. Both have skies on the cover, different kinds of skies, but skies on the cover, and I have read both of these. I enjoyed this one. I disliked this one. And last but not least is The Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. And the sky is also a clock, however, it's a dusky sky. Those are some recommendations for books with with a sky on the cover. Now let's get into The Spy House by Johnny Compton. I have finished this book and I'm going to give it 3.5. I think on a reread, this book can get higher, like a 4, or lower, like a 3. And those are, for me, the highest maybe that this book can potentially get. But I did enjoy the main plot of this story about a house that is built particularly out of spite, and anything that happens in that house draws on the energy and the lives of people that come to it. I enjoyed it. I do think that we got more POVs than was necessary. I enjoyed the father's POV and I enjoyed the daughter's POVs, and possibly the lady who wanted them to live in this house. But other than that, there was no reason to get every person's POV. But other than what I've told you earlier, I'm not going to go any more deeper than that, because if I do, I feel like everything else is going to be a spoiler. But I did enjoy my time with this book, and I do recommend that if you like horror, if you like haunted houses, if you like ghosts, if you like spectral, if you like the unknown happening and there is no explanation for it, there is this book. And like I said, I did enjoy my time with it. But now we get to move on to either Man, Fuck This House by Brian Asman or Death Note 4. And I'm going to go with either or. I don't really know, but one of these will get read. And this video won't end until all 3 books have been read. So that ends day 2 of Summer-ween for me. Day 3, we'll probably get into one or both of these. I don't know. Y'all, don't fight me. But yesterday, I read a little, but I wasn't in the mood for filming. So I really do think this video for Summer-ween is going to go up on the last day of Summer-ween, because I'm just not in the mood to be reading. And the reason for that is not like a reading slump or anything. I'm in the mood when I'm feeling good, when I'm feeling at my best. I'm in the mood to read. I went to the doctor today. I went to pain management today because I had to figure out whether I wanted pain management. I have arthritis on my L5, 6, and 7. Two of the 3 of those. I can't remember which exact ones. My nerves are being pinched back there. That's why I'm always in so much damn pain. So I went there for them to tell me what they could do for me. And I chose the options that I chose, but I'm happy because that also means that I will no longer be in so much pain. It's not a cure, it's an assistance, and I don't mind assistance. I need assistance, I need relief. And yesterday I stayed in bed all day. Only time I got up was to use the bathroom, to eat, to load and unload the dishwasher. That's really it. I didn't do anything else. Walking up and down my stairs are a no-no when I'm feeling that bad. Sleeping sometimes is a no-no when I'm feeling that bad because of my back. I can't sleep on my back. I have to sleep on my side or my stomach, and I usually don't sleep on my stomach. I'm a side sleeper or a back sleeper. And if I wake up in the morning and I'm on my back, just know I'm crying on the inside. But anyway, let me tell you how far I got in the books. 1, 2, 3, 4 more days of Summer-ween. Yeah, so yesterday on the 8th, I was laying down and reading, but I wasn't vlogging and reading. So I'm going to tell you what I got up, like where I am in the books. So I am 51% in on Death Note Volume 4. And I've read all of, there's Volume 7 and 8 in here. In this omnibus. This is omnibus 4, and volume 7 and 8 are in here, and I read all of 7. I finished 7 yesterday, so all I have left to read is volume 8. And this is an easy read. What's irking my everlasting nerves is that you're on Light's side for so much of this story until he starts offing people that don't need to be offed. And it's like, just so that he doesn't lose his power. And it then becomes, you're not a good person. You are also the evil that you're combating against. So yeah, I am enjoying this. And Misa Misa is hilarious, in my opinion. So is Matsuda. I don't know where I was the last time that I updated you on Man Fuck This House, but I'm 32% in now. And I wanted to read you all something because I dog-eared it because it was true. The 10-year-old, his name is Damien, and he said, like, his inner monologue. In Damien's eyes, the dividing line betwixt adult and child was simply how self-serious one was. Children thought the moon was made of cheese. Adults believed in more complex but equally silly things, like government. Everything was one big joke. From the mouth of babes. From the mouth of babes. So it's already, what time is it? It is already 5:22. Like I said, I woke up super early, and for me, super early is 8 o'clock in the morning for my appointment. I did that. I also went to the Chinese restaurant and bought back some, as across the pond like to say, some takeaways for me and my daughter. It was a gift to me, right? For making it on time to that appointment and getting the good news that I will have pain management. But I wasn't reading these because I also have a book club. I was catching up on reading for that. But for the rest of tonight, these are what I will be reading. There's no cooking in here tonight. I'll be eating pizza. Reading these 2 books. I'll get to you when I have some more to express on this. I'm sorry that the vlog isn't vlogging enough, but it'll get there for the rest of Summer-ween, I promise. So I was just finalizing some of the details for my trip to go to Norway. I booked my Trova trip with Gavin Reads It All, and I cannot wait to go. So I was booking all of the, not booking, but finalizing all of certain plans for that, like getting the dog into his doggy hotel for that week, and all of those like little odds and ends that you have to, tidy up. But yeah, but I was also thinking I never let you all know about my little mug. I made this. Y'all, look what I made. Look what I made. I made this. And I picked out the colors. It is purple. I have a dirty chai in here, but look how it's so tiny. But I went to my first throwing experience and I had a great time. But let's go back to when that happened. So I have been dating myself, and today's date is going to throwing. I'm gonna take you all with me. Let's go. So I just finished my first throwing class at Tire City Potters, and it was fun. I enjoyed myself. I talked to the lady. I probably talked her ear off because I was so nervous. In a couple of weeks, she'll let me know when it's ready, and I pick my colors. And I didn't show you all of that so that I can have something to show you later, because I want to be surprised as well about how it looks and everything like that. But now we have one more thing to do, and then back home. I have finished the book. I have finished Man Fuck This House by Brian Asman. And I don't know, I almost knocked myself out with this book. I enjoyed parts of it. Parts of it were very spooky, especially in the beginning. But I don't know what the hell this book turned out to be. I don't know what this book turned out to be. I'm going to have to give this book a 2.5. I'm going to say a 2.5. Maybe 3. Like, it's a 2.5 leaning towards a 3, like a 2.75. I don't know exactly what the hell I started to read at a certain point. Yeah, this wasn't for me. In the first, let's say 20%, maybe. The other 80% just wasn't. I continued to read because I had already started to read it. And I was curious as to where it was going to go. And it took none of the turns that I thought it would. It took none of the turns that I thought it would. So yeah, this is 2.5. But is it a creepy house? Yes. Is it a almost sentient house? Yes. Is it a scary, spooky book? Yes. Would I recommend? I would recommend this for people who do like spooky house stories. Haunt, not haunted house stories, spooky, scary house stories. Because there are no ghosts in this book. The house is a fucked up house and a helpful house at the same time. You would have to read it to understand what that means. But yeah, I finished it. Only thing left is my Death Note. And yeah, so I'll see you when I finish this one. So I have finished Death Note Black Edition Volume 4, and I'm going to give it 3.75 stars. I am enjoying my ride on the light Yagami Shinigami world. I'm enjoying it. All I can say about this edition, because again, this is the 4th edition. This has volume 7 and 8, so this is an omnibus. And what I can say most about this book without giving too much away if you haven't read the comic is basically that Light is becoming more unhinged in my opinion. He started out wanting to make the world a better place, but if you become the same thing you're fighting against, is the world really going to be a better place, or are your thoughts and opinions and beliefs now skewed? I think he's towing the line. He's crossed the line of what he first, in my opinion, was trying to set out to do. He's way beyond that. So this is making this more enjoyable to read. But my one critique is Shinigami, in my opinion, this is supposed to be a horror, right? Shinigami are not scary, but I think the horror in the Shinigami world and with humans is that humans are even more scary than death gods. Let that sink in. But with those 3 books done, I have finished my Summer-ween. It took forever because I wasn't feeling well. I'm still not 100%, but let's go over what I got to accomplish. So I read a book in the dark or at night. It's already night, and I just finished Death Note Volume 4, so that's a check. Read a horror or thriller book. I did that. Read a book with a sky on the cover. This can be the horror book or the other one, but with a sky on the cover. That's this one. Read a book you've owned for more than a year. That is where this came in. Man, Fuck This House by Brian Asman. And read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. And that is this one. So I've done all of my Halloween prompts. I was successful with only 3 books. And being that this is my second Summer-ween, I think I'm going to continue, because my first one, I read volume 3. This is the second one I'm doing. I think that was Winter-ween, not Summer-ween. Winter-ween, I read volume 3 of this. And now this is Summer-ween, and I'm reading volume 4. So I guess in Winter-ween coming up, I will be reading volume 5. Let's hope I remember to buy it by then. And I also was able to get a Summer-ween bingo because I read a book in the dark, I read a thriller or horror book, and I read a book with a night sky on the cover. I was gonna try for a blackout bingo, and blackout bingo is when you get all of them. My health wouldn't allow me to do so, but I did enjoy this Summer-ween. I got to read a book that I just recently got, a book that was on my TBR for over a year, maybe even 2, and I got to continue in the series. And these are kind of like all goals that I've had for this year. With these books, during the Summer-ween, we are done. And I cannot wait. Why is this book upside down? And I cannot wait for Winter-ween and any other readathons that I might participate in the future. But that is all we have. I will definitely see you in the next one. If you made it this far, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the fam over here. I'm trying to grow and get more content out to you all. But until the next time, peace.